This production is sponsored in part by Wynnwood Properties, Houston's premier brokerage for sales, builder services, and land acquisition. Learn more about them and start your new project today at www.wynnwoodgroup.com.
We're good at identifying, issues, but our next step is solutions.
I've been in this community my whole life. I'm 72 years old, and I've seen only a minimal amount of change.
Honestly, the same struggles that Acres Home is facing, Third Ward is also facing. Unfortunately, it's a very parallel of our black communities here in Houston and honestly around the nation.
I'm from the Fifth Ward community, and we've had the same devastations through the Fifth Ward community.
I've moved back to my childhood home, and things have completely changed. And how I grew up, it's no more.
There was a candidate who specifically wanted to do a ride-along, and so we had a conversation about it, and light bulb, well, let's do a bus.
Acres Home is a special place to me because, well, for one, my family's been out here in Acres Home since shortly after it was founded. It was founded by the Wright Land brothers, who bought this area and sold it to black people at a time when black people could not own land in the city of Houston, but they could come out to this area called Acres Home and buy land on their own property, and it was sold in 1 acre increments. That's where the name Acres Home come from. So it was an independent and pretty much self-reliant community. At one time, it was the largest unincorporated black community in the South. And it was full of entrepreneurs and business people. People in the community provided literally all of the goods and services that we needed in the community. In 1959, a group of businessmen from Acres Home chartered the first transit company owned by black people in the South, right here in Acres Home. Had our own cab companies, stores, restaurants, cleaners, pharmacies, doctors, you name it. We had it all right here in Acres Home, and it was a self-reliant community.
The reason why Acres Home is loved so much is because of the standard that it had back in the day, of being from a community that was, predominantly black, being the largest black community in the United States and being self-sufficient, and just figure out how we can get that back.
Growing up, the one thing that I did not know about Acres Homes is that Acres Homes was its own city. It was Acres Homes, Texas. Do your research.
Everybody want to know the people up there. Hell, they want to know you so they can get your vote. Doggone it, we gonna have a tour and you ought to say, this is what we need in Acres Home, and you're representing this district, this is what we need. That's why going on the bus tour with these people, I want to see what you represent and what you stand for and what area you represent, that's all.
So 2 things can be true.
I think the meeting was good. I think it was much needed. So I was pleased with the meeting, and I think we got a lot of things addressed that will probably help make a difference.
And it seems like all our leaders don't really know what's really happening. Because the Justice Department, there is money available that comes down from the federal government to handle some of these legal government issues. And Sylvester Turner had that money that was actually spent. So that's one of the things, they had the money, they came down. Y'all remember when the Justice Department came down to come around and look at all that dumping? That's what that was about. They gave us money to do that, but the money is spent, it's gone.
I think, though, that we are inviting out our elected officials that's going to be running for the congressional district. I think we probably could have did a better job on actually tackling those issues. A lot of the issues that were brought up were basically almost city issues. I think we still need to talk more on what those federal issues and what that involves, where the money is going to come in to help our community.
I called Sheila Jackson Lee's office because the Methuen Empowerment Center grass had not been cut. 2 days later, she cut it. So my answer to that question is the power of the 18th Congressional District, it's a lot wider than what's written. She had the power to get it done. The question is, does the person have the passion to do it?
So I had an interesting role, but on the board bus tour, my role was to identify hot spots within the neighborhood. I operated the microphone and I educated the consumers or the individuals that was on the bus tour what was going on within our community.
When you talk about long-term planning, being solution-oriented, what can we do to prevent it going forward? And that's one option, but surely there could be others. And a heavy fine is definitely another option.
in regard to what we're starting right now is to take the checklist or some criteria and have every candidate address those answers. And then we start a community popular vote, which runs until the forum. So at which time we're able to say, this person is our community choice, or these two people are our community choice. That way we know that as a community, when it's time to actually vote, we're all voting for one of those two candidates or that one candidate. So that is what I was thinking we might do here.
First question is, what made you come up with the idea for the bus tour?
There was a candidate who specifically wanted to do a ride-along. And after thinking about it, I thought, well, we should try to take more people. And so we had a conversation about it, and light bulb, well, let's do a bus. One person shouldn't have insight into the community where others don't. So that particular candidate would have had a leg up on everyone else because they had a special one-to-one ride-along. And I really felt like all the candidates should get the same information at one time. And then, when Rob kind of suggested that the group, the committee, the four of us, we kind of decided that we needed community leaders, old and young, together to talk to the candidates and explain what's going on in the community. Being that I'm not from Acres Home, I just work here. But I feel like that puts me in Acres Home a lot. I want to be able to go to the grocery store and pick up a snack and come back to my office if I want to, and I can't do that. And that's a problem for me.
All right, so about to get ready to head out. So we're going to head up down Knox Street, down to Tidwell to DeSoto, and then from there we're going to go to different parts of the community and whatnot. So y'all just stay tuned, and we're going to have some questions and stuff for y'all and things like that. So if y'all have any questions for us? Any questions for us? No? Good. All right, let's go. All right.
They screw up the black children. They want to cater. That's why you
They have an answer about the environmental survey.
Acres Home was a dumping ground for all of Houston with their refuge. And that's what it was. That's why it took so long and the land was so cheap. And so you got several dumping grounds right in this area. Tidwell, the area over there, or Donovan, that one street, that a Carver School across from it, they were dumping ground. So they can only go so far, and Sheila Jackson Lee will let us know so far with the spade or the shovel, and they had to fill it in.
Honestly, as a candidate, I see a community that has a lot of pride in the history and preserving the history of Acres Homes. I really do resonate with how strongly they feel about making sure each of the candidates knows all of the pain points of the community, and I think this is a great opportunity for a community to make their mark as somebody who wants to partner with elected officials to be a part of the conversation rather than just be told what is and what isn't going to happen.
Acres Homes would be bigger than a whole bunch of small towns and medium-sized cities, but it's not unique in the terms of urban America being neglected. And we're hearing about the environmental issues, about people having unpermitted dumps. They have us living on toxic land, toxic soil. It's affecting our water. And so it's not unique in that sense. It's kind of ugly that we've elected people for decades and they can't do little things like make sure that we have clean water, clean streets, safe communities.
Johnny Boatwright. You know Boatwright?
Mr. Boatwright.
Mr. Boatwright. Mr. Boatwright drove a dump truck.
Yeah.
Because we weren't part of the city. We were independent. So he would make his dump run, and then take it over to the dumps, one of the dumps, where they would dump it. So that's why we knew all about the dumps. And then he would come back with his dump truck, and all us little guys, we get on the back and sweep the dump truck off, and then we pile up, he brings us down and taught us how to play baseball. He had a little league baseball team.
You'll see more activities here at this park, very similar to that of Walk with the Dog. You'll see on Saturdays, the youth are being taught tennis, basketball activities. So at either rate, and just other activities, and like I mentioned before on the bus, we talk about the garden and all of that taking place here. So it's important to see what putting a little time and effort behind facilities will do and how it changes and shapes the community. And this is just one of the many parks in our community.
So I take it very personal that we get this right, meaning really do make the transformative changes. I look at some of the things that I see and a lot of it looks the same as it was with my childhood, but then you go right down the street and you see the housing that's not being built for the residents that are living here today or who grew up here. And you have to say we've got to be more intentional about how we improve and invest in our community. And so certainly you always want to see investment come into a community, but you want to do it alongside the community. So having this tour, seeing the housing, the new developments, the change that's occurring with the context of what each fight is, I think was super impactful in terms of just those that might not have had familiarity. So people here I know have a lot of pride, as they should. And I think what we have to do from a cultural standpoint and also just an upliftment standpoint is make sure that the Acres Home story continues to be told, and of course that the residents here actually benefit from the change and investment that you see.
Now we on a tour, and we stop to play some golf.
Which letter did they lose first?
R.
They lost the R first. Okay.
Close the door, man. That's
right. That's right. Okay, so the purpose of stopping here is to hear from some of the community residents and some of their concerns and or why maybe they don't get out to vote. So this particular establishment was run by my ex-husband, Michael Doswell. And during the day, people come in here, they just like, as soon as Ross saw him, he sat down and started playing dominoes. I get it, but those are the things that happens in here. And as we talk about the place behind Lynn, the living room where people hang out outside on other people's property, this has become a space for people to come in and hang out and congregate together in a safe space.
My name is Minister Gerald Miller. I'm from Mount Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist Church. We're right here on Dollar Right, 2525 Dollar Right. We're a small church. And our concerns are true. The smaller churches are not getting the funding that we need, but we're out trying to help the community, trying to help the older residents in the community cut their yards, make sure they got different things that they need. Our church even gives food, even if you're not a member. That's what we're here for the community.
For once, with everything that we've been doing and everything, the struggle that we've been doing, it feels good for them to come in this kind of setting at this time to even hear us. That's something we haven't had since Sheila and Sylvester. And so it's good to see that people are really concerned about what we got going on.
Not for anything, but this comes out of his pocket for him to try to keep the community from falling. We have a lot of things going on in the community that HPD just doesn't recognize. The only thing, they come in and they just want to arrest homeless people. They don't want to help the homeless. We do whatever we can. He feeds the homeless, give them a chance to shower, or take a wipe up. I mean, we need more help. We need more structure. And that's why people won't vote, because they feel like we're not getting help within the community to come and vote for anybody. It's important that we grab the youth now. The parents are scared of their kids, the teachers are scared of their kids, the school board is scared of the kids. What are we gonna do? It's up to us that's been here on these streets to give to the kids to where they see which way they're going, how they're going, and what their direction is taking them. And if we can get help, I'll go rent a bus and get everybody on a bus and get them down there to the multi-purpose center. But if they don't believe in what we're doing, then how can they come? It has to be some kind of belief. We need help. We need the congressmen. We need you guys to converse with us. Let us know what you're doing so we can support. But at the same time, understand what we're trying to do as citizens in the community to make our community better.
So I'm from 3rd Ward. Honestly, the same struggles that Acres Home is facing, 3rd Ward is also facing. High gentrification, dumping everywhere illegally. Like, unfortunately, it's a very parallel of our black communities here in Houston and honestly around the nation, which is why I do this stuff.
For one, I think there's been too many leaders of the past that has come out of this community for some of these things to even exist. And I've said it all the time, these problems have been going on, they're just convenient right now, and that has to stop. I believe in civil synergy. Everything is connected. Like right now, we listen to the minister that represents and is fighting for a lot of men with criminal records and passes so on and so forth. We've just passed huge mounds of materials because they're dumped. We're on roads that has no sidewalks. But you're right here talking to people that need jobs. So sometimes we have to be able to lead and create our own infrastructure and ecosystem, and that's my #1 plan on day one.
Yeah, for sure. So I have many friends, family members who have either grown up out here or been all throughout Acres Homes. It's clear the issues that are impacting them are similar to the issues that impact black folks, throughout our county, our state, and our country. You got, environmental justice issues, landfills, people trying to build on top of trash that eventually degrades and causes a health issue to the people who live nearby. You have disinvestment, right? Decades of disinvestment, and folks not really getting their fair share from the government, right? And having to fight and claw for it. You have people who are justice involved, who don't have fair opportunities, fair shots. And same thing you're seeing here, you've seen in other places, but to be here on the ground and really rap with people about what's going on has been very impactful.
I don't believe that we actually came to a solution, but what I do believe that we came to is acknowledgement, which is where I believe it starts. We are aware and we have forced everyone else to understand and or acknowledge that there is a problem. Now, how do we fix it? And even when you look at the news and the news highlights one area and it's like, well, they're dumping over here. This is a problem. They should do better. And all of a sudden, overnight, something happens. So that acknowledgement is so important. And that's what we brought to this community. So when you sit in that seat in that office, you need to know, because you were made aware, that Acres Homes is important to its residents. Regardless of what you've heard on the outside, Acres Homes is important.
To close it here, I guess I just would say, I'll ask for the help. I'll ask for help. I have been here 2 years exactly, observing, working, building, and resources do come, but they come for specific things. And people come through, they look around, they decide they want to buy up this or they want to do this. That's great. But we need real help. We need real resources that I know a lot of these funds have strings attached. That's fine. But if you care about people, then you'll come here. And as you're throwing money around the city, because I know a lot of people just throw money around, bring some of it over here. Bring some of it over here. And if you are an elected official and you support this area, come here. Come here and do the job that you were elected to do. The people are waiting for you. And that's it.
Illegal dumping is a problem that has plagued many parts of the Houston area for years now. In Acres Homes, it has gotten out of control. In one of the city's most historic African-American communities, neighbors are saying enough is enough. In this latest installment of Our Town, KPRC2's Andy Sirota shows us the grassroots effort taking shape that could become a model for other neighborhoods fighting the same battle.
We didn't find a solution that day on our Acres Home bus tour. But on the journey, we found progress. Our commitment to this community remains steadfast, and every step we take brings us closer to a brighter future.
We used to call it Acres Home, Texas. Now it's known as the 4-4. A place where hard work met opportunity and created a historic community. And now we're bringing it back with the farmers market. So if you left, come on back home.
Greens, beans, tomatoes, potatoes, you name it, we got it here for you.
We love our city and its vibrant culture. And Acres Home is more than just a place. It's a thriving community of resilience and hope. Though we may face challenges every day, we continue to move forward. We're building a future we can all be proud of. In Acres Home, progress is a journey we walk together, fueled by love, dedication, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow.